Welcome back to the Bullpen Mafia. It is Thursday, June 27th. The Mafia is back together. We got Petey and Toad in the building. First things first, we have a summer intern. Marco Diaz just popped into your screen. Marco is going to be helping us with all things socials. You see the age demographic we brought in.
We're trying to hit the TikTok crowd with Mr. Marco.
The TikTok crowd, the Gen Z crowd. He's Gen Z, right? Gen Z
or Gen Alpha? You tell us, Marco.
He looks like an alpha, bro.
No, I'm Gen Z. Gen Alpha. What is it?
He's like, get me off the camera, bro. Get me off the.
Enough screen time for the alpha.
Hey, can you do me a favor though? Hey, Javi, shout out Marco's Instagram real quick for the people.
Marco's Instagram. What's Instagram? It's Marco Shoots.
Yeah.
At with ITZ Marco MARCO SHOO. TZ. It's Marco Shoots. He does edits. He does like a.
He does.
He's big time in high school football recruiting.
Yeah. So if you are a high school football player, basketball, what else? Basketball, football, baseball, no baseball. But if you're committing to high schools, if you're transferring, transfer portal, NIL era, hit up our boy Marco Shoots. PD, last week, Toad and I were shocked. Marco's taking business calls right before our podcast.
Making the Mafia look bad.
Making us look bad. He's taking business calls. Some guy from Rivals called him and is like talking about putting him on. He's like, yo, I got clients for you. Marco takes out he's on Excel. He's writing down people's names. I'm like, dude, what is it?
Bro, does Marco?
Marco's got his own credit card, man.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that's because Marco's been on the Bullpen Mafia for 2 weeks. What do you think? You think it's because of his shoots, dude? No. Come on, bro.
All right, so we got an intern. Mafia's giving back, creating jobs, man. Today's debate day. It's probably gonna be one of the topics, but Mafia's creating.
What are you
jobs.
laughing at, dude?
It's creating jobs, dude.
Creating
That's what
it is. An unpaid intern who's the brother of Javi's fiance. Yes, we're building the economy.
Marco shoot, boys. Shoot or shoot.
So we got Marco. We got a couple of championships, man. Petey, we didn't give you any love for the Celts, man. I know we needed to touch on that. A couple that happened last week. Celtics won a championship. Mafia got 2 championships in 4 days.
Wow.
Because Toad and I were in the building for Game 7. Panthers win the cup. Panthers win the cup. Toad's got a lot to say. Toad's got stories.
We got a lot to uncover, a lot to unpack, review, reminisce. Man, it was just on Monday that we saw them lifting the cup in front of us, just beyond the glass. But it feels equally long ago and at the same time so recently. Just a really beautiful week in South Florida. It's been emotional.
Hey, can I just give you guys like a formal congratulations? Like I feel like there's a lot of that might seem like a lot of negativity for me sometimes towards you guys as fans. But hey, I'm proud of you guys. We talked on Tuesday and I saw just what that game just took out of you emotionally, physically and emotionally.
Buddy, how was it? I'm still nursing a 3-day hangover. I haven't set foot in the gym because I'm terrified of what's going to happen.
Yeah, I haven't worked out all week, but I have had Taco Bell and McDonald's twice in 3 days.
But I will say, Toad and I did tell people this. Petey, we spoke as we literally were driving into the stadium. Okay. We're about to park our car. Petey, we had a miscommunication. We were trying to get on the phone, the 3 of us. Mafia has a lot of connectivity. That's one thing I will say. Mafia is always in communication. Mm-hmm. We're trying to talk to Petey. We're trying to talk about things. Petey called us as we're parking, and he told us, enjoy the game. This might be one of the most historic nights in NHL history. And this conversation came back up. Toad and I went into the stadium. We're talking to our good buddy, Mike Ryan, the producer of the Le Batard show. And Toad says, we just actually talked to one of our really good friends, and he sort of talked us off the ledge, made us feel a lot better about walking into the stadium because it was a lot of anxious, a lot of tension, a lot of nervous energy walking into that building.
There was atrocious vibes walking into the arena. People were uncomfortable, to say the least. But Petey, your pep talk, it was like a big exhale that I didn't know I needed. And I was ready for Game 7. From that moment forward, I was locked in. We were loud. Amerant Bank Arena was on fire. I will admit in the third period, the final 12 minutes of the game, neither Javi nor I did we cheer or say a word to each other. We were so freaking nervous. But man, a surreal experience. That's the second time in my life that I've been able to witness one of my teams that I consider myself a huge fan of to win a championship while I'm in the building. So just crazy. You would never think that the Stanley Cup would make its way to South Florida, a permanent home down here.
It might never leave till the way these guys are acting.
Yeah, it's gonna end up at the bottom of the Atlantic at this point.
Literally,
you're absolutely right.
Yep.
One other thing I will say, it was the game was back and forth. It was awesome. There was a ton of Edmonton fans in the building, which I think there was some sitting around us, and you could tell like the gravity of the moment for them too, right? I mean, Canada hasn't won a cup in 30 years. Edmonton, a fantastic fan base. They were pretty good sportsmen. They stayed till the end. A lot of them waited for the Panthers to carry the cup around the ice. A lot of them were just enjoying the moment, because I think that's a game 7, I think, sort of transcends sports, right? You're in the building for a deciding game of the most difficult trophy to win in sports. So kudos to Edmonton. Obviously, great win for the Cats. We have a story, Petey, that I don't think anyone would believe if we told this twice. Like,
do I know it? I don't know it.
No, I don't know if you know it.
I don't think so.
So there's two stories.
I can't wait.
This at the end of the game, everybody's launching rats, right? So we're cracking up. We're like, Toad got emotional.
I cried.
Toad cried.
Yeah.
He did cry, but it was awesome. We shared a huge hug. Toad was hugging dudes that were, down the road. Like this guy, Dave, awesome guy, like legend. Toad was hugging. It looked like Toad had been, found like castaway. That's the way he was hugging people. But a rat flies in our direction. Like it's coming straight from my forehead from like behind the goal. So behind the goal, you have the big nets. Can't throw rats onto the ice from there. Someone launches a rat at us. I catch it and I look, I'm like, where did this rat come from? I throw it onto the ice and then I just start scanning and I make eye contact with a guy like 4 sections over who's holding up rats. He's got like 4 rats in his hand. He's going like that to me. And I said, throw him over to us. So dude, this guy's launching rats at Toad and I. He threw 4. 2 of them made it. 2 of them got stuck in the net because the guy was throwing like a low 3/4 arm slot. Like there was no chance. Like there was no direction.
Little ASR.
Little ASR.
Yeah.
So we catch the rats. We throw them onto the ice. Toad and I are cracking up. We're like, man, those guys, like they wanted their rats to make it on the ice. So they found people in 4 sections over to get it on there for them. Toad and I say the story. We put it in a group chat. I'm thinking to myself, there's no way people actually believe this story. Because I said this is one of the most poetic. This is just guys being dudes, throwing rats at other guys to make sure they get on the ice. I say this story in a group chat. Toad and I get a couple like ha-has, a couple like thumbs up in the group text, whatever. Like everyone's probably thinking these guys are crazy. Like this didn't happen. They had one too many. Literally 24 hours later, Toad gets a text from a good buddy of ours, Nick Armis. Shout out Nick Armis. Working on his golf game right now. Nick sends Toad a text and myself. He goes, did you guys catch rats from a random guy in the stands yesterday? And I said, yes, dude, that was by far the best moment of the game. He goes, that was my brother. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me.
No way.
His brother didn't know he was throwing it at Toad and I. Toad and I had no idea he was throwing it at us. He had video from his vantage point of him throwing rats at us. Toad and I looking up in the stands trying to catch, like, dude, unreal. And it was one of those things where I sent the video in the group chat just so everyone could be like, these guys aren't lying idiots.
It's one of those really cool moments that they'll feature in the commemorative collector's edition DVD. Like, wow.
Dude, that's incredible. Javi, how did you scan the sections and this dude's like, hey,
no, man,
hey.
Javi got pegged in the face with one.
Bro, I got smoked with a rat.
But
so
like,
I was looking around, and then as I'm looking around to see where it possibly came from, the guy's holding rats like that by the tails, and he's like, and I'm like, okay, come on, dude, throw them over. So he just starts launching rats at us. The first one I catch, then 2 get caught in the net, and then Toad catches the 4th one, so we're able to get some rats on the ice for him.
Dude, 4 sections over and going 2 for 4 is a decent night.
So Toad's seats are in the face-off circle.
Yeah.
These guys are directly behind the net, so that's how far they went across.
Wow.
That's how far these guys are throwing these rats.
That's
okay?
incredible.
It was magical.
Magical story. Magical.
Yeah.
But all in all, fantastic game 7. PD, you were a big part of that, whether you believe it or not.
Thanks,
you were.
boys. Thanks.
Toad.
That was my second speech of the night too. I gave my 7-year-old son the same type of pump up speech before his scrimmage, and then did it for you guys for game 7. So
Toad's
Glad
gonna
it worked out for you guys.
Toad's gonna be at the parade.
Well, we'll be at the parade Sunday, but I really don't want to gloss over what happened last night.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Probably.
God, I thought you were leaving. Could you want to ask
absolutely
certain
not.
members of the audience to leave?
No, he's fine.
an intern now.
He's all right. He's all right. He's a member,
Yeah.
proud member of the mafia.
Could be a minor, yeah.
Yeah. So yesterday around 5-6 o'clock, maybe earlier, it's been a blur since Monday night. 11 nightclub, one of the most popular clubs at this point in the world, posts on Instagram. We're having a Panthers celebration. The cup is going to be in the building. Be here before midnight to welcome the cup. I'm in a group chat with my family and my cousin Rolly. Him and I are the same age. We've grown up together in the same cul-de-sac. We're going back and forth like, man, do we go? Is it worth it? Like it's a school night. We both got work tomorrow. 9 o'clock rolls around. I don't know, man. I'm comfortable on my couch. Should we go? 10 rolls around. 10:30, 11.
How far is it away from
It's
you?
about 25, 30 minutes from where I live. It's in downtown, and my cousin and I live 2 minutes from each other in the suburbs.
Okay.
11 rolls, ironically enough, 11 p.m. rolls along. Yo, screw it. We're going. Get in my car, throw on my Matthew Tkachuk London Knights jersey.
Incredible jersey.
Incredible
sick
pool.
sweater.
Incredible
Yeah.
pool. And this jersey is going to make its way back into the rest of the story. So I go pick up my cousin. We book it to downtown Miami. We find parking. We walk up to the club. It's like straight out of a movie, man. I'm not even exaggerating. Like there's hundreds of people in Panthers gear waiting outside to get in. There's like projections on the building, the Panthers logo. There's the whole thing. We get in line. We make it inside. People are buzzing. They're waiting for the team to show up. The word was that they're going to be there at midnight sharp. And apparently, I guess hockey players are usually on time because
they're punctual.
They're punctual guys. 11:55 rolls along. Rolly and I are at the bar, waiting to grab a couple adult beverages, and we look to our left, and there's Alexander Barkov opening the side door to the club with his butt. And he turns around, and I swear it like happened in slow motion in one full smooth motion. He like turns around, and then the cup is just lifted. Everyone is realizing what's happening, and the place erupts. They played the Panthers goal song. Even the players are doing the "Go Cats, go!" Oh, the whole thing. The club's going crazy. We found our way next to Matthew Tkachuk and Carter Verhaeghe, and it was a inside the locker room moment. They opened a bottle of champagne and sprayed it directly into my eyeballs.
Yeah,
so I could not see.
Was it Ace of Spades, Toad, or just like a bottle of?
I don't know, man.
Was it Corbel or little Andre?
For Marco's sake, it was apple juice.
Yeah.
But man, that was like the night just kept getting better from there. So I'm wearing this London Knights jersey, and where we're standing, like we're facing the players, and Evan Rodriguez somehow makes eye contact with me, and he like screams over the DJ. He's like, "Why do you have that jersey? Like that is so random." And I like turn it around for him. I'm like, "It's Tkachuk's," and he like looks at me. He's like, "No effing way! Take it off. I'm gonna get it signed for you right now."
Wow.
So I rip
What a
off.
guy. Shout out
What
to
a
you.
guy, Evan Rodriguez.
Shout out E-Rod. Shout out
If
E-Rod.
this makes its way to Hot Rod, man, what a freaking legend. Take off the jersey, tarps off, give him the jersey. He rips a Sharpie out of some poor girl's hand. Like, I need this. And he takes it, goes straight to Tkachuk mid pull from a bottle, signs it, brings it back to me, daps me up, says, "Here you go, man." And I was like, dude,
Unreal.
And then a few minutes, I don't even remember if it was before or after, I took a picture with Tkachuk.
We gotta get that posted up here.
God,
that needs to be on the Instagram, Toad.
Man, I even forgot, like, before we even walked into the club, like, Kyle Okposo, like, bumped into me by accident, and I was like, holy shit, Oki, what's up, bro? And he's, like, trying to walk away to sneak in. I'm like, buddy, hold on. One of my closest friends is a big Islanders fan. I need a picture with an Islanders legend. He heard Islanders. He turns around and goes, all right, fine, I'll take the photo. So, Oki, just, like, really, really insane night. I don't know what my favorite part was. Getting baptized by Matthew Tkachuk and Carter Verhaeghe was mayhem, absolutely insanity. But
do they want to get on the pod at all, Toad? Did you ask them?
No,
we're gonna get them on. We're gonna get one
somehow.
By the way, we do have something special cooked up for our Panthers fans. Toad's we're gonna tease it out. We got a couple bogeys we're working on, but these bad boys are going to find their way.
Rat Mafia.
I know. Okay.
They're approved by Brady.
Yeah, dude.
Brady Peterson will be wearing one of these shirts at a field day in school for sure, 100%, no doubt, without a doubt in my mind.
So that and the Barkov T-shirt you guys promised.
Yeah, it's coming.
2 months ago.
Whoa, excuse me. I'm actually going to the store tomorrow to get a T-shirt for the parade because there's no way I'm wearing a jersey in 100-degree weather in South Florida.
Dude, you might have to throw on the Tkachuk jersey just for the hell of it, though. No T-shirt underneath, and then go tarp off as soon as his float comes by. Just let him know, hold it up, show what you have. You know what I mean? Rep it around a little.
I'm hoping to bump into Evan Rodriguez again and just get a picture with him.
He ain't gonna remember that.
No, he's a father of 3. He was by far the most
have they slept yet, dude?
No chance. I
think
Tkachuk said 3 hours.
Tkachuk left 11 probably at 5 in the morning and then ended up at a Raising Cane's at 8 in the morning. So I don't know how they're doing it.
It's been a crazy week, and it's only Thursday, right? Yeah. So who knows what the weekend is.
I'm exhausted. I'm fried and I didn't even play. But I do want to say I appreciate the how open and humble the Panthers players were. I know it's spoken about amongst the general population of hockey players, but last night, just how they were treating the people who showed up to party with them. I've never been a part of something like that.
Just good dudes, man.
Yeah, good dudes. Awesome. Letting people touch the cup, man. It's like flowing back to me. I touched the Stanley Cup. Was that Verhaeghe that was spinning that thing around? Oh yeah, Tkachuk and Verhaeghe said this is our moment, and they were leading the charge. Eetu Luostarinen and Anton Lundell were dumping mixers on each other, not even like
that's awesome
beers,
just boys, man, just the boys being boys.
Cranberry juice and
little grenadine in your eyes.
Yeah.
Oh man,
just
we could go on we could do a whole pod on this.
Yeah,
I know. Toad wants to.
Toad will get some good content for us. We're like I said, we do have something cooked up for our fans and for our listeners, taking advantage of the Mafia and the Rats, but we do have a couple of baseball topics to touch on today, boys. Albeit we are going to touch upon championship moments in our career, in our lives, and not in our careers. We didn't have any championships. We don't have any rings. But, first we want to do an Around the Horn segment, just talk about 4 topics we found, important this week in baseball. I think first and foremost, we haven't really talked a whole lot about what's actually going on, the lay of the land in MLB, right? I mean, Toad, Petey.
Admittedly, I have been all hockey.
You've been out of it.
Toad's been locked in with hockey. Petey's been locked in Little League and Celts.
Literally, I mean, no Celts for me, boys. Get the Celts. We just literally talked for 20 minutes.
We're trying to give you a participation trophy, man. Just take it.
Yeah,
so we got the All-Star game coming up. I think it's this week. Next week. 2 weeks. 2 weeks All-Star game. MLB season's at its midway point, Midsummer Classic, 4th of July next week. Petey, I know we always played 4th of July games. Talk about minor league freaking Super Bowl. I mean, you want to sell out your park in the minor leagues, dude.
Literally.
It is 4th of July with fireworks.
The best game of the year.
Best game of the year. I got my Biloxi Shuckers 4th of July hat on right now.
Bro, Javi, it didn't matter where you played, dude. We used to average, what do we average in Brevard County? Probably 300 a night. Dude, you get to the 4th of July, there aren't enough seats in the Space Coast.
I will say this, when I was in 2015, I was supposed to pitch on July 4th. My whole family came up and they were going to stay the weekend. The game was a monsoon. And these guys were doing everything. I mean, I remember Skip walked the outfield. There was puddles everywhere. And the GM of the Manatees was like, we need to play this game. We're going to. And it was 10:30 at night. They hadn't banged the game. We've been there all day long. But 4th of July is a great baseball. It seems like baseball's perfect holiday. All the other major sports are gone. There's nothing left. There's no.
It is that quiet time in the sports calendar in the U.S. where baseball is the rare moment where it's king.
Right. And
it's like the Sandlot, boys. Like the Sandlot. They get the fireworks going off. It's the best. Even Hamilton the Bay Porter knew it was the best game of the year.
dude, it is a great time of year. We should also touch on where the heck the standings are right now. Looking at the American League, the best team in baseball, the Cleveland Guardians.
The Guardians.
We didn't see that coming, boys.
I will say, Mafia bump, Houston Astros. 7 in a row.
Yeah.
Seven in a row.
I thought you were going to give me with some credit for the Cubs being atrocious and me picking the Cubs to be bad.
Good call. Toad called the Cubs being bad.
Yeah, you know what helped the Cubs being awful is the fact that we did the interview with Coop and the day later he was gone.
Yeah.
You want to talk about some bad juju for the Cubs?
Bad juju. Another AL East nugget. One of my buddies was in Norfolk last night. Garrett Cooper.
Yes, let's go,
for
big
the Norfolk
Coop.
Tides.
Yep.
Signed with the Baltimore Orioles, so that's awesome.
Good to see Coop back in the AL East.
Great to see Coop in the AL East.
Wrong city, but
it looks like we're going to have the Yankees. We're going to have the Orioles. That race is going to be really good to the end. The Guardians taking care of business in the Central. The AL West, who knows? Mariners are in first place right now.
Toss-up.
Astros have won 7 in a row. You ask me right now, my money's on probably the Astros winning that division one way or another, but
Seattle has the pitching to do anything.
Been there, done that.
And
Texas kind of stinks.
Texas. I actually have an interesting question. Would you rather be, as a fan, would you be in the position of like utter disappointment like Texas, where you've had this horrific come down, or like a middling team like the Tampa Bay Rays that's like kind of in the hunt?
Dude, give me a ring.
You want the ring?
Yeah,
Okay.
give me the ring. Give me the
All
ring.
right.
Give me the ring.
Stupid question.
National League, Phillies look like a wagon in the AL East. Wagon. Petey, your son definitely loves Bryce Harper, dude. I feel like little kids absolutely adore that guy.
Love him. You want to know why we love Bryce too, right? We get that sweet left-handed swing. Absolutely, like the swag is off the charts.
Off the charts.
You know what I mean? Like what's the mascot's name? The Fanatic there, the Philly Fanatic.
Philly Fanatic, yeah.
Dude, when he wears the accessories that have the Fanatic on them, that is, you want to talk about playing the Gen Z Marcos crowd too. You know what I mean? What is he, Gen Z? Did we figure that out yet?
Gen Alpha, we're just gonna go with.
Whatever. I don't even know what the hell Brady is, what generation he is, but man, let me tell you, their stuff is good. We got the old Philly jersey, you know, the baby blue with like
so beautiful.
So Brady's got that hat and the Harper jersey like that. You know, boys, I've talked about it a million times. We love the City Connects around here. I know that's not their City Connect, but give me a throwback. Give me something. Just bought him a Tatis Jr. for this weekend. We'll be heading in on Saturday to see the boys.
Wow.
Tatis getting hurt the day after I buy the tickets. Are you shitting me, buddy? Like the only player in the
does Brady love the Red Sox, or he's a favorite player kind of guy?
We're having a tough time with the Red Sox right now because of Coop. You know what I mean? Like we're just,
Fair.
you know. But yeah, he says the Padres.
Get Brady on. If we got Marco on, I need to intern Brady too. What's going on?
Dude, he's just getting back from the pool. He looks like he just got hit by an absolute like brick in the forehead. We're gonna get him upstairs in a second. You want me to come and say goodnight to you in a minute? All right.
Now that he's here, though, let's get confirmation. Does he want Barky or does he want Chucky?
Oh yeah, these boys want to know. Remember the T-shirt? Do you want Kachuk or do you want Barkov? Barkov. He wants Barkov.
Barky,
yeah,
captain. Okay.
Yeah. What?
I don't like Kachuk anymore.
You don't? Why?
Why?
I only like Brady.
You only like Brady.
Is it because he beat Pasternak's butt?
Dude, it's funny because I told one of the first things we looked at this morning was your Instagram. I couldn't wait to show him the picture. It's hilarious. But hey, I love you. You know that. But like, I'm in the middle of this now. I know the boys started asking you a question, but I gotta lock in here. Okay. All right. He's good. He said yeah. Gave me the finger, but said yeah.
All right.
Sorry, boys. Go ahead.
That's enough baseball talk, I think, on the standings. Yeah. So
do you mind? You guys mind? Javi, you said it, you talked about the AL East. Can I just give you my Red Sox thoughts?
Give us a State of the Union, Petey.
All right. So as I was coming home today, boys, I was listening. They were talking. There's the tease on the radio was that at least one member of the Red Sox still wants to win. Alex Cora is telling Breslow in the front office, let's get greedy at the deadline. Dude, I think these guys are in a position where nobody expected them to be 6 games above 500 approaching the All-Star break here.
Right.
Trevor Story down for the year, right? You've had guys like IL stints left and right. I mean, where this team's at, I don't know. I think you gotta. If Breslow is saying let's take a chance here, he obviously thinks this team's got I mean, the third wild card team right now, man. I don't know. I just feel like if there's gonna be a year, if this, like, let's call it, if this is Cora's last year, he wants to make a run here in Boston again, let's do it. You know, if the manager's bought in, we're bought in. If you can't tell the front office, hey, listen, you haven't done anything the past 2 years. Stop sitting on your hands this year. Like, let's go ahead and make a move. I love it, man. Let's go.
Well, I think that's like, you've kind of weathered the storm, right? I think you're playing much better than you were a month and a half ago. You've won 8 out of your last 10 or something like that. So, like, again, Cora's got the pulse of that locker room. He's like, maybe I got a good group. Maybe I take a chance, right? Like, last year the Marlins took that chance and we were pumped, man. I think you get playoff baseball, you get big important games down the stretch. It makes a difference for you.
I think even a couple moves fires up not just the fan base, but the guys on the roster too. Right. Like when you get that buy-in from the front office, I think that in itself can spark a little bit of a run and some extra juice. So that's exactly what happened to the Marlins last year. They were kind of middling around. They got Berger, they got Bell, and the rest is history. They got swept in the wild card round.
So at least they got there.
This weekend, dude, tough Padres team, and you win a couple games. Who knows, man?
And then they got to come down to Miami and take on the Fighting Fish. You know,
we can't even watch
tough
them.
6 games.
Are they not on TV down there?
No. It's to the point where the team is offering to pay for people's Bally Sports Florida app account so people can actually watch the team. So who knows how many people are actually watching the Marlins right now. Yeah,
I feel you.
Tough. But our second topic, college baseball. College baseball kind of showed off last couple weeks. I don't know, how much you guys got to watching, but I know that Tennessee won the College World Series. Epic 3-game set.
You got to think if Tennessee doesn't have that miracle 4-run 9th inning comeback against Florida State. If that doesn't happen, without a doubt, FSU wins their first national championship.
Yeah. And, tough way for FSU to go out. Obviously it was a close pitch check swing in that first game of the World Series. Who knows how that goes? I mean,
it seems like umpires, regardless of the level of baseball,
everything's a 50-50 call. It's a coin flip. Everything's a coin flip.
Okay.
Robo umps. We'll be back to that.
Well, here's my thing with the check swings. I think it should always be the home plate umpire's call to judge, because you can't tell me a guy who's 90 feet down the first or third baseline has a better vantage point of how far the batter's swing is going. So that's incredibly frustrating when the game is on the line and the home plate umpire points to a guy. And remember, they're further than 90 feet because they're not standing at the bag.
120, yeah.
Right.
They're over 100 feet away from home, and they defer to the umpire and they're like safe or out regardless of the call. I'm like, it seems ridiculous that guy is supposed to have a better angle, a better view, vantage point, whatever you want to say, of the home plate umpire. So
tough,
tough scenes.
Yeah.
FSU did fight to make it to the
semis.
So that was fun to watch. I feel for my buddies who work for the program.
Dude, I love that the Tennessee coach, man.
Dude, he's awesome.
He's
unreal.
The best, isn't
he's
he?
Unreal.
Like, I feel like talk about just relating to your players, relating to the fans. Like, dude, his leap into the stands there at the end was
so cool.
It was awesome. I always loved watching that guy, like listening to him after games. I just think he's very, he's obviously well spoken, but he's also, I feel like you can hear the passion he has for his team in the game. That was fun to watch.
I just think, like, when you have a manager, coach, whatever they call him in college, like that, it's easy to play for that guy, man. Like, he's got his players' backs. You honestly have such a good rapport with that guy. And then, something that happened the last, right before the championship game 3, right? Texas fires their head coach. There's talk that they are either going to get the coach of Tennessee or the coach of Texas A&M. So Texas sends their contingent on a private jet. One of those two guys is going to be the head coach at the University of Texas and get the biggest contract in college baseball.
Right.
So imagine the psyche of both teams thinking we're going into the championship game. Texas, a total Texas move, by the way, just trying to steal all the spotlight.
Dude, the AD pulled up to a graveyard to pick up the head coach.
They had to steal the spotlight on the last day.
Yeah.
And Tennessee wins the Natty. Tony Vitello, God in Knoxville forever. I'm glad he's staying there. But dude, what a move by Texas A&M's coach, Jim Schlossnagle.
Was he at TCU before, dude?
TCU before.
He wants to coach. He just wants to be in Texas, bro.
He's collecting the Texas Infinity Stones.
He
bro.
really is.
He's getting a Texas school on every finger.
Dude, he has the nerve to berate a reporter after the game who asked him a question.
Dude,
A simple question, right? He just said, hey, you're involved in all these rumors going to Texas. He went scorched earth on him, tried to find him after the postgame presser. He got in the plane, in the bus with his team, got off in College Station, takes a job at Texas as soon as he gets off the bus.
insane. It's like it's a mix of Jimbo Fisher and Nick Saban with the Dolphins. Like what?
Javi, you think he was trying to track him down to like be like, dude, who's the mole? Who's the rat?
Right. That would have been red flag number one. Like, why did he get so
The
defensive
rat is
about
probably
Yeah,
your agent, bro.
Right.
But then the
Right.
worst part about this was players started saying this deal was done 4.5 weeks ago when Texas A&M played Georgia. You know, transfer portal era, slimy. You got to get guys in the door. You got to get guys into your program. There's rumors that he was making phone calls on behalf of the University of Texas while being the coach at Texas A&M. Like, dude, there are no rules in college sports anymore. Whether you like it or not, rules are out the door. Everybody's chasing the bag.
Take me back to the
coaches.
good old days when dudes were getting paid with paper bags.
Javi,
Simpler
like-
times, man.
Dude, the whole transfer portal stuff these days is crazy, man. Like I remember, so in 09 when I transferred 1-to-1, right? Like you had to sit out that year,
Right.
right? So like nowadays, man, it's like if a coach sneezes wrong or tells you didn't pitch good that day, these guys are off transferring schools. They're playing at 4 different schools, 4 different years, dude.
Well, PD, that 1-to-1 rule that you had to sit out a year was ridiculous because
I agree.
Think about the prime of your like collegiate life. Like imagine taking off a full season for no reason, literally no reason. It was some arbitrary rule the NCAA made. The NCAA is a sham organization, corrupt beyond belief. They have no idea. There's no guardrails. So they allowed the transfer portal, but then they don't know how to control it now.
Right.
So now you have coaches leaving. So when the coach leaves, Texas A&M's best player, probably a top 5 pick next year, he leaves automatically because he's going to Texas now. Their freshman catcher, who's an All-American, leaves. So there's no rules anymore, dude. Guys are not going to school for the pride of the school they're going because
We went from nothing.
NLI, right? It's got to be a big part of it now.
yeah.
The spectrum has been flipped.
Yeah.
Like, we went from the total control to the Wild West, and it's
wild. Jim Schlossnagle. Don't trust that guy.
bad guy.
Do not trust that guy.
How could you trust the guy with the last name like Schlossnagle?
LOL,
Texas
bad guy.
Infinity Stone,
Bad
baby.
guy.
Are we a horns down podcast?
Yeah, dude.
We're horns down.
Yeah, we got to be. We got to
Horns down,
Horns
SEC down.
Hey, does the emojis come up?
All right. Third base. This was
Why is it not
cool.
working? Go ahead.
What?
Sorry. Javi.
Oh, sorry. Third base, MLB debuts.
I'll let you try and pronounce his
I
name.
wrote the name down. John Kenzie Noel. That's all I got right now. But he has a really cool first at bat dinger in the show. All his boys were watching in the locker room. It was really cool.
Yeah,
Really cool video.
and there's a tie-in with that story with you guys, especially for me being the outsider who didn't play any type of professional baseball. Every time we have a guy on this program that you both were teammates with, I'm blown away with the support that you guys still give your former teammates. So from your perspectives, what's the experience like rooting for and watching your former teammates and still friends like play and dominate at the highest level?
Well, I was gonna say a couple of guys we've talked about, like Javi, we've shared stories with almost everybody of like, hey, I remember your debut. Like, Toad, every single time that either a guy you played with at that level or a level before, guys are always going to the television to watch either that guy's first AB, that guy's star, that guy's first thing. Like, you know, you obviously you hope it's after the game, so everyone's kind of hanging around. But like pitchers, we get the luxury of sprinting into the clubhouse whenever we wanted to. Position players, not so much. But like, you don't miss that stuff, man. It's just, you know, it's so cool to, I think, you know, you're spending almost every second with those guys all day long. You know, they get the call, they get something that everybody that's playing and throws on the uniform every day dreams about. So, you know, to watch that all come full circle is so cool. And even nowadays, like, turning on the games, like you say, like, watching Hauser pitch last night on MLB Network after we just interview him. A lot of it is great because, again, you play with the guys, they're living their lifelong dreams. It's, they're just, deep down inside, they're not only great players, but they're better people too. And then from my perspective, being able to tell my son, like, yeah, I played with that guy, or hey, Hauser was a great teammate, or yeah, I remember we were talking to him last night on the podcast, and have Brady hang around and see these guys when we're interviewing them. It's just, to see it all come full circle, to know that, hey, my dad played with these guys, or like he's got good stories about these guys, or we're going to the field and then we're meeting them when they're in Fenway.
Brady's the coolest kid at Little League.
100%.
Yeah, but I mean, like we talked about swag earlier, dude. Now Brady's also showing up with an elbow guard.
Oh no,
friggin', what I mean?
No.
Hey, we're taping the wrist.
I hate those. Oh no, I hate the show kids on Instagram that they got the Pit Vipers.
I'll let them know.
Yeah, come on, we don't need that. We need
let Brady live, baby.
No, we need a little humble.
I will say though, Petey, echoing that, man. I think, once you get Toad mentioned something about the humility of hockey players. And I think hockey players and baseball, there's a lot of parallels in the sense that, like, a lot of guys grind, through the minor leagues. There's a minor, juniors, the minors in hockey, the minors in baseball. Like, you really have to understand how difficult it is to make it up and then to stay up. Right. So like when we get these guys that, Toad and I last year, we go to see Woodruff pitch down here in Miami, and, dude, Woody's gotten Cy Young votes 4 straight years, right? I mean, he's had unbelievable seasons for the Brewers, and unfortunately he's down this year with an injury, but one of the most humble guys. I've known him since we both got drafted together. Every year we were roommates together, lived together in spring training. My brother, lo him like the back of my hand, but like such a humble guy. Toad came to dinner with us. Yeah. It's me, Woody, my fiance, and Toad. And this guy's sitting in a restaurant in Miami, a crowded restaurant where no one knows who he is, but like the table next to us, like, dude, you're sitting next to a top 5 Cy Young vote getter every single season, right? So like, that's the cool part about baseball. I think the humility, and I think watching videos like that just brings you back and helps you understand. Like, you just root for guys, man. Whether you have a great relationship or not with them, you just root for them to make it to the next level, because number one, you want to be in their shoes really badly. Yeah. Number two, how hard they work to get there. So that video of the Cleveland
you see Guardians, it part of yourself.
Unreal. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. It's unreal.
And Javi too, like you're competing against these guys on a daily basis too, right? Like you and Woody are best friends. You're both starting pitchers, man. Only one guy is going to get called up here and there. It's like, but I don't know. I think sometimes, like that stuff, when you see a guy make his debut, when you see a guy grind it out, when a guy works his ass off to get to where he is now, it makes it that much, more special.
I will say, man, Woody's rise was something that was so cool too, because we were both in high A together. He gets held back in 2016. He stays in high A, starts the season, and just goes on an absolute tear, gets called up to Double A, and he was the best pitcher we had seen in 2016. I mean, Brandon Woodruff in 2016 was by far and away the best pitcher in Double A. And I'm in Double A again in 2017. I see Corbin Burns come through Double A and just absolutely tear it up. So it's so cool to see, like I said, these guys that just go on these meteoric rises and continue to have great success. And Woodruff and Burns, man, I mean, their success speaks for itself. Corbin Burns is on Pitching Ninja every night. So
throwing swords, bro.
Yeah, throwing swords.
And we're gonna take up Woody on his offer to go to an Egg Bowl.
Yeah, we're going to an Egg Bowl.
Dude, you didn't even respond to that, Woody. What's up with that, bro?
We should take Taylor Scott to the Egg Bowl.
Oh,
LSU and Ole Miss.
That gets me every time, dude.
Last topic, and we're just going to touch on it really quickly. We're not going to talk about draft stories, but we have 3 drafts. We just had the NBA draft last night. Hockey coming up. Macklin Celebrini. Petey, you getting a sweater or what?
Yes, Celebrini's so sick, dude. Watched him a couple times this year. Went to the Bean Pot, a couple other tournaments. He's just like, it's every time that guy touches the puck, man, it's special. So
electric.
He'll be fun to watch.
And then we got MLB draft.
All 20 rounds of it.
All 20 rounds. Shortened draft. Used to be 50.
50. I was gonna say, what year were you drafted?
14. It was a 40, so I got cut back.
So when did it go down to 20?
COVID, it went down to like 5, I think.
Yeah, that was
5
insane.
or 10.
I actually have no idea how many rounds.
And then I think now
it is
20. Now it's at 20 because they truncated the minor leagues. A lot of the AZL elite teams there's less and less.
We don't get to tell draft stories. I already told the fans last time. I went the same year as Hauser, 49 rounds later, right? 50 rounds. I was the 51st. What's going on? Good to see you guys.
Good. I'm glad, Pete. You did have a good draft story, man.
Thanks, boys. Thank you very much. Yeah. Appreciate it.
In the spirit of our teams winning championships, we like to close out these middle innings with a segment that we can sort of be a little nostalgic, talk about us a little bit. Yeah. We're going to talk about our favorite championship teams. We're going to try and keep it one baseball, one non-baseball. But I think Toad struck a chord with us talking about the Panthers, got us in the mood. That's all we've been talking about all week long in our group chat. So Toad, kick us off. Favorite championship teams.
Okay. About a month ago, this story or this championship hits close to home because of who I went to the game with. 2013 Jameis, FSU in the Rose Bowl against Auburn, epic comeback. The touchdown pass to, man, I'm blanking on his name. Kelvin Benjamin in the back of the end zone. Thank you.
What a name drop.
Yeah. I went to that game with my Uncle Joe, my dad's brother, who passed away recently. And when Javi brought up this question, I immediately knew what I was going to talk about. My Uncle Joe is one of the most influential people in my life, especially when it comes to sports. I credit him with what some might call an obsession with sports, and to experience that game, just him and I in California at the time. He lived in Sacramento, so and the game was in LA. So he flew down. We met up and got to experience. That was my first time witnessing one of my teams win a championship, and it's a really special memory of mine. I will never delete the pictures in my iPhone. They're like the grainiest pictures I have in my iPhone because I think I took them on like an iPhone 1 or 2, but I'll never forget like going to In-N-Out before the game, popping champagne with him and my buddies in the parking lot after the game. Just getting chills now thinking about it. So a very personal one for me, outside of the team being amazing and one of the best college football teams of all time, going undefeated, just a special family moment. And with his passing happening so recently, like, wow, what a cool opportunity to talk about and reminisce about that game. And the Rose Bowl is the coolest football stadium I've ever been to.
I bet.
Forget all this modern stuff. If your team plays in the Rose Bowl, go to the Rose Bowl.
Go to the granddaddy of them all.
The granddaddy of them all. You are looking live. Yeah. That's my Brent Musburger.
Dude, Brent, what a legend, Brent.
My second team, I'm not going with baseball. I'm going with the 2024 Florida Panthers Stanley Cup champions.
Nice job, Toad. Congrats.
What a beautiful team. Sergei Bobrovsky, robbed of the Conn Smythe, should have won the Vezina tonight as well.
That's a good point.
You want me to go through the roster? I can name everybody if you want.
No, but what I want you to do is I want you to be serious. You really think he was robbed, or do you think Connor McDavid deserved the Conn Smythe?
You can't. I understand. This was actually news to me too, considering we don't have a hockey team in the finals very often. I was reminded that the Conn Smythe is a award for the totality of the playoffs.
Right.
So. Sure, McDavid had an amazing, historic, record-breaking playoffs, but Buddy was a no-show in 3 out of the 4 games in the finals. 0 points, 0 shots on goal, 0 points in Game 6, 0 points in Game 7. If you're going to give that award to the losing team, he had to be dragging them in Game 7 to some miraculous thing to keep them in it. But who stepped up in Game 7? Who had the miraculous save across his body with his glove hand, palming the puck? Sergei Bobrovsky. Don't miss me with this crap of a guy from the losing team winning MVP of the playoffs. That's not possible.
Petey, you should have seen.
You mean the best player on the ice, though?
That's fine. That's fine.
He was letting Gary Bettman have it, dude.
Was he really?
Oh my! I'm telling you,
Thank God he didn't come out to it. Thank God McDavid did not.
Yeah, no. Thank God that he didn't come out.
Yeah. I wasn't booing McDavid. I was booing the fact that they didn't give it to Bobrovsky.
Right.
And it's a technicality. Like, also, I didn't realize the writers vote on it. Like, one of the writers voted for.
One guy voted McDavid,
Hyman.
McDavid, Draisaitl, and Evan Bouchard.
Yeah.
Draisaitl didn't have a goal in the last 10 games of the playoffs, bro.
Yeah.
Come on. What a sham. But
guys, that
Good
last
2 picks. So
that last 7 minutes was first of all was absolutely insane. The last minute and a half after they called timeout, I've never seen McDavid and Draisaitl looked like they had angel hair for legs.
dude, they had nothing.
Yeah.
They had no
Nothing,
gas.
dude. Those guys were dead, man.
And Javi and I were absolutely stunned that Knobloch took forever to take out Skinner. They had they had like 3 opportunities in the last 3-4 minutes that they were controlling the puck, and he just stayed in the crease, and Skinner was right in front of us, and we're like waiting. When are they going to pull him? And they did us a favor, and it was interesting too, because a handful of the regular season games that we went to this year, multiple teams did that against the Panthers, that they just delayed pulling the goal. This is game 7 of the final. Yank them at 4 minutes, at 5 minutes. You got to get that goal no matter what. I think it was the one big mistake that Knobloch made. I think for a rookie head coach, he put on a clinic. He went toe-to-toe with Pomo, who is a legend. We'll talk about him.
Miss me with Knobloch. That guy's a dork, dude. That guy is freaking zero. He said today, I saw his
miss me with Knobloch.
If the game was 5 minutes longer, we would have tied it. Like,
wow.
Dude, if I'm in that locker room, he said that. He said that because that's what a dork who has no understanding of the moment, no understanding that you played your guys 30 minutes. What do you think was going to happen in the last minute and a half to Draisaitl and McDavid, dude?
Like an analytics guy, Javi, you're saying? Like that kind of dork?
I don't know what he is. That guy inspires no confidence in me. If I was Edmonton Oilers, I move on from Knobloch. And this is coming from, again, Toad and Javi, 2 Cuban guys in Miami talking about hockey tactics, right? Bullshit, do this, do that.
Respect our
Knobloch
opinions
out.
with caution.
Knobloch out. Petey, championship teams.
First off, baseball-wise, gotta go 04 Sox, man. We talked about it with Geff, like that whole 86-year curse, man. That whole team being around my grandfather, my father, people that have lived through many years of heartbreak before that, to see them win in 04 with a bunch of buddies was unbelievable. So that's my baseball one. Non-baseball, unequivocally the sweetest championship trophy, the Super Bowl 51 with the Pats coming back down 28-3 late in the third to the Atlanta Falcons. Probably the greatest Super Bowl, if not the greatest football game of all time. From the Edelman catch to just those guys just coming and tying it at the end and then winning it in OT. I mean, that's, Brady was suspended 4 games at the beginning of that season for Deflategate. To come back and to win that like they did in that fashion, I'll never, ever forget the feeling of sitting there and watching that game and then like little by little watching them chip away, and then to finally win. I mean, it's insane to even still think about it.
Was that sweeter than Malcolm Butler, Petey?
Javi, I'm going to say yes because of the suspension at the beginning of the year for Brady, like missing the first 4 games and the whole Deflategate thing seeming like it was just like a witch hunt from the very beginning. And then, for them to go out there and sort of do that, I don't know. The Malcolm Butler thing was obviously incredible, but like part of you at the end of that is like, wow, I can't believe they didn't run the ball with Mark Ridge. You know what I mean? And like
both of those games make me sick, and I cannot watch highlights from them.
Yeah, it's just insane. But like there was so many things that went into like, remember Julio Jones' catch like on a third down, like sort of late in that game. Like there were so many times that you thought that the game was over, and then the Hightower strip sack leads to the touchdown. It's just
Atlanta completely abandoned running the ball too. Just a weird game.
That was very weird, very weird. But yeah, those are my 2, Javi. What do you got, buddy?
All right, my first one, my first game 7, the 97 Marlins. That was crazy. My brother and I have been very lucky that my uncles had kids later in life, so they had sporting tickets to just about everything. I went to game 4 of the 96 Stanley Cup. I went to game 7 of the 97 World Series with the Marlins. So early on in life, got to see a lot of really cool sporting events. And that 97 Marlins for me was the reason why I started loving sports. I love the Marlins. I think Toad and I talked about this on our first Middle Innings. If you talked about 90, oh my gosh, what's intern Marco doing over here? Intern Marco is
scrolling under sleep.
Just go. We'll cut this part out.
Marco shoots, dude.
Freaking cutting it. What?
Let's go.
I'm telling you what, we talked about getting a job. That is strike 1.
Bro. You gonna go to the bathroom, bro? What is he doing?
I don't know, dude. It's Marco
I don't know, but I'm gonna have his sister talk to him when he gets home. That was unacceptable.
So 97 Marlins, started our fandom. I bet you Toad and I, that's when we first started becoming fans of the Marlins. Unfortunate that it's gotten to the point where it is now. We did get to experience it in 03.
I wish I remembered more about the 97 team. I was 6 years old.
Sneakily, I remember a lot. We went to a couple games in that World Series. My brother and I. My brother was 3 years old, and he went with my uncle. I mean, psychopath move. It was 60,000 people in that stadium. And then my second team,
pro player back then, Javi?
Pro player, dude. Or no, but probably Joe Robbie.
Yeah. Still Joe Robbie, maybe.
Yeah.
No, who knows?
I don't know. Teal seats. My second team, the reason why I went to University of Miami, the 2001 Miami Hurricanes football team, up there with Toad's 2013 Knowles, is probably some of the best college football teams of all time. Produced Petey's boy Vince Wilfork.
Who else, Javi? Run us through. Ed Reed,
Sean Taylor.
They
Ed
had
Reed,
McGahee,
Gore,
12 first-round picks,
something like that.
NFL record that
stupid.
still holds to this day, which will never be broken. But
all that 1 year, or just spread out through.
For like a 2-3 year,
It was-
like a class.
Right.
because the running backs were all first-round picks too. It was like McGahee,
Gore,
and
and Clinton Portis.
and then a sneaky one was the guy who went to Buffalo, the receiver.
Roscoe Parrish.
Yeah, Roscoe Parrish is another
Andre
one.
Johnson.
Yeah, Ken Dorsey, the quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah, Kenny Dorsey.
Yeah. Can we get
that
him on the show, dude? I used to love that dude. We got any connections?
Maybe. I mean,
Maybe
he's
he's got a job right now.
What's he
in
doing?
He was. He
Cleveland.
got fired by the
He's in
Bills.
Cleveland.
Is he in Cleveland?
He's the Cleveland OC.
wow.
Wow. Okay.
But I think all this, and here comes, it's Marco Schutz again.
Shoot, Marco.
Marco, dude. I think this was a ploy by him.
What is
I
he
think
doing?
he wants
He
to
wants
go home.
airtime.
Does he really?
I don't know.
Faster.
Schutz is walking like he played in Game 7 of the Cup, dude.
Yo, did Shoot just hit the gritty on the way by, bro?
I was gonna offer for us to go get Froyo together or something after this, but I don't know.
We're out. Schutz is done. Good stuff today, boys. I think the championship talk got us in our feels a little bit, right? I mean, I think that's the whole point of these championship, sort of runs, man. You start remembering stuff that you feel, all the things you felt, the things you saw. You don't remember a lot of the day-to-day stuff, but I feel like the special runs and the championships bring you back as fans. I think that's one of the coolest parts about sports. Like I mentioned earlier on, we do have merch on the way. We do have some Panthers stuff for our Panthers fans, but we also do have official Bullpen Mafia merch coming hopefully sooner rather than later. Toad is our everything executive producer and logistics guy, and he's working on all that for us. But that's it, man. Another great middle innings. Petey, Toad, anything else on your ends?
No, I'm just hoping, boys, when I come down there, you guys, can we go to Elbow Room? Like, I just feel like Elbow Room.
I've never been.
And neither of us have been.
Yeah.
Because it's really far from where we live.
Okay, because I just feel like that's just like one of those like beach places that I just
Petey,
give me a Corona bucket or a rum bucket,
but
a Malibu bucket.
If I am by the Elbow Room during the parade, I will get you an Elbow Room T-shirt.
Yeah, like a T-shirt or a hat.
I got you.
Bro, I've seen the 11 snapbacks on some people before.
No, we don't need that. We don't need
those?
No.
I would never step foot in 11 unless.
Can we get Brady in 11?
Can you imagine Brady?
Yeah, I could actually. With his Pit Vipers taking BP.
I love it.
All right, we have a couple other things to cover.
What else?
No, I mean, I just meant like we're done, right?
We're done.
No, I meant no more things to cover.
No.
Another middle inning sign off.
Sign off. Mafia out.